Think about it for a second. The one thing that's always with you, the one thing you can count on to mimic your every move, is your shadow. But what if one day it just wasn't yours anymore? That simple, unsettling thought is where this story begins. So let's just start with this chilling idea. A warning, almost. If your shadow starts walking 2 steps behind you, you have to understand it isn't yours. The basic laws of physics, of light and darkness, are suddenly bending just for you. And that is where our story truly kicks off. Okay, so let's set the scene. We meet Neeraj. He's just walking home from the office, right? It's dusk, that in-between time when the world is caught between light and dark. And it's right here in this fading light that he first notices something is just profoundly wrong. His shadow. Well, it's not keeping up. So what do? He stops. Just stops, dead in his tracks. I mean, it's a simple test, right? A bizarre observation calls for a simple experiment. You stop, your shadow stops. Instantly. That's a rule. Yeah, but it doesn't. There's this delay. A split second of pure impossibility. Now, Neeraj's first instinct is to rationalize. He tells himself it's just fatigue, a trick of the mind. And that makes sense. The mind can create some pretty strange distortions, especially when it's trying to bury something. And that right there, that's the key to this whole thing. See, a crime, a deep hidden guilt, it doesn't just fade away with time. It lives inside you, it festers, and it can totally twist your perception of reality, making you see things that aren't there. Or are they? So to really get what's happening to Neeraj, we have to rewind. We have to go back 3 years, because he isn't alone in this. There are 3 other people who share the weight of this buried memory. So here are the players. You've got Aditya, he's the logic guy, always has a rational explanation for everything. Then there's Ruchi, she sees meaning and signs in everything. You've got Siddharth, the joker, who uses humor to deflect anything too serious. And then there's Neeraj, the one at the very center of it all, the driver. This timeline lays it all out plain and simple. 3 years ago, a man was killed in a hit and run. The case was closed, no witnesses were ever found. The crime seemingly just dissolved into the past. But today, that past is literally reaching out from the darkness. And there it is. The simple, damning fact. The source of the guilt that's distorting his entire world. That night, Neeraj was the one behind the wheel. The very next morning, the phenomenon escalates. In the harsh, artificial light of his bathroom, Neeraj has to confront this impossible thing all over again. And this time, he can't just blame it on being tired. Logic is starting to fail. This is just terrifying. Picture it. Neeraj is standing perfectly straight, but his shadow on the wall is bent over, as if it's in pain. He raises his hand. The shadow mimics the action, but with a horrifying 2-second delay. It's as if the shadow belongs to someone else entirely. So he tells his friends. And what happens? Siddharth just laughs it off, says it's a hallucination. Aditya, Mr. Logic, tries to blame it on the angle of the bathroom light. But Ruchi, she's silent. She knows hallucinations don't lag behind time. She looks right past the logic and sees the real truth in Neeraj's eyes. And she asks the one question that cuts through all the denial. Do you think that shadow is yours? The implication is absolutely chilling, because if it's not his, then whose is it? From this point on, the horror just accelerates. The shadow is no longer just a lagging imitation. It begins to evolve, to take on a life of its own, adopting characteristics that are deeply and personally terrifying for Neeraj. The progression here is methodical, and it is absolutely terrifying. First, the shadow develops a limp, hauntingly mirroring the way the man from the accident walked. Then, it breaks the most fundamental rule of all. It starts to appear when there is no light to cast it. One night, Neeraj turns off all the lights in his room, looking for that simple comfort of total darkness. But he doesn't find it, because the shadow is there, not on the wall anymore. It's standing, in the corner of his room, a physical presence, untethered from him, untethered from light itself. It is its own entity now. And its appearance is the stuff of nightmares. It has no features, no face, just a void, a humanoid shape carved right out of the darkness. a living, breathing piece of the night. And in that featureless void, something impossible happens. A smile forms. It's a gesture of pure, malevolent awareness. This is the moment the entity reveals its intent. This is not just a memory, it's alive, and it is watching him. And in that moment, Neeraj understands with perfect, soul-crushing clarity this thing haunting him is not a manifestation of his guilt. It is his punishment, a living sentence that is only just begun. The question is no longer what it is, but what it's going to do next.